Can a US citizen work in Canada? Before I answer this question, please subscribe to our channel and enable notifications. If you are a US citizen, you have the ability to travel to Canada without the need to getting an ETA or electronic travel authorization or even a visa. So you can basically pick up your passport and hop on an airplane and travel to Canada, or use your car to travel to Canada. Of course, be mindful of travel restrictions because of COVID-19, but assuming that you're watching this after the fiasco of COVID-19, you shouldn't be worried about traveling to Canada. Now you know that you can travel to Canada without a visa or even security screening. Does that mean that you can also work in Canada? Unfortunately, the simple answer to this question is no. You cannot work in Canada unless you get a work permit, and then with the help of that work permit, you're able to work in Canada. Luckily, for majority of the United States citizens, they may apply for their work permits at a port of entry. So you don't need to upload your files and wait for a visa office to process your applications. There are some exceptional situations that IRCC highly recommends applying beforehand, just to make sure that when you come to Canada, you already have your work permit available to you. But majority of the cases, they could apply at a port of entry. What is a work permit? A work permit is a piece of paper that clearly says that who is your employer, what is the extent of the work that you can do, are there any geographical limitations on your work or the type of work that you are doing? Can you work for any employer or some employers? In other words, if you take a look at your work permit, it clearly explains to you what you can or you cannot do in Canada. The good news is that there are some exceptional situations that you may work in Canada without a work permit. Those exceptions are defined under Section 186 of the Immigration Regulations. I give you some examples. If you are a full-time student at a post-secondary school here in Canada, then you may work up to 20 hours per week. And also when there is, for example, winter break, you can work full-time. Another example, if you are a performing artist and you're going to perform in Canada, but the main reason for that performance is not a TV production or a radio production, then you may come to Canada and work without a permit. Some conditions, of course, apply. You also can think about professional speakers. If you are a professional speaker, then you may come here and work and even being paid. However, there are some limitations in terms of the number of days of the event that you're attending. There are some other cases that are exempt from work permits to Canada. I have a link below this video. You can click that link and check that out. What about those people who are not exempt from work permit? Majority of people who work in Canada, they have to receive a work permit. By default, when you are applying for a work permit, you first need to submit a request to the Labor Office in Canada, also known as Service Canada or ESDC. That application is being submitted by your employer, and the Service Canada officers will review the application to make sure that hiring you in Canada will not affect the labor market in Canada negatively. This process is called LMIA, or Labor Market Impact Assessment. If LMIA is positive, then you may apply for a work permit. Luckily, there is a program called International Mobility Program, or IMP, that if you qualify for IMP, then you become exempt from the LMIA process, which is a tedious, time-consuming process and prone to refusals. What is IMP? IMP is defined under sections 204 to 208 of the immigration regulations. And a big example for US citizens is the CUSMA or USMCA or NAFTA 2.0 agreement between Canada, the United States, and Mexico. As a US citizen, you may come here to Canada and work under CUSMA without going through the process of LMIA. CUSMA defines 4 major categories of US citizens that can come and work in Canada. They are namely called traders, investors, professionals, and intra-company transferees. And of course, they are defined under codes T21 to T24. I don't want to go into details, but if you qualify for any of those options, then you don't really need LMIA, you just need a work permit. There are some other IMP options available to you besides USMCA or besides CUSMA. For example, for performing artists who are performing for TV productions, we might have the opportunity to apply for the work permits without an LMIA. If you are a Francophone, then you can benefit from Francophone Mobility Program, and also some reciprocity options in terms of performing artists that they can come to Canada and work without a permit. An interesting option is called C11, which is a work permit for entrepreneurs and people who want to come to Canada, establish a business, hire Canadians, and contribute to our economy. We could get work permits for them under that, or if somebody is super famous or super successful, then that person could apply under another code called C10. Again, explaining all different options of IMP is beyond this video. I will try to produce other videos explaining each of them. I have many articles about IMP exemptions. I will post some of the links below this video. Are there any other options? Yes, if you are a business visitor, you could come to Canada and work without a permit. However, you need to be aware who is defined as a business visitor. Another example is that sometimes you qualify for open work permit. All open work permit options are also under IMP, but I give you an example. If you are married to a Canadian citizen or permanent resident of Canada and you are already inside Canada and you're applying under in Canada class a spousal sponsorship application, then you could qualify for an open work permit. As I mentioned earlier, as a full-time student, you could qualify for an open work permit, and some other options that are again beyond the scope of this video. Another option obviously is to apply for permanent residency to Canada. If you become a permanent resident of Canada, then you enjoy the constitutional right to live and work inside Canada. You can live anywhere in Canada and work anywhere in Canada. Remember that workers are not immune to inadmissibility issues and removal orders. If they come to Canada and they don't follow the rules and regulations of Canada or the rules and regulations under the Immigration Act, then in certain situations they could face removal orders and be removed from Canada. Thank you very much for watching this video. I tried to summarize this subject as much as possible. There's a lot more about work permits in Canada and US citizens working in Canada. You can get in touch with our office or book an appointment with me. My name is Parsai. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I teach immigration consulting at Ashton College. I'm also the author of 88 Tips on Immigration to Canada, which has been identified by Amazon.ca repeatedly as the bestseller book in the field of immigration law. Please subscribe to our channel and enable notifications. Share this video with your friends, and